what I'm talking about today it's actually a title of a book that I've been working on for a while. And it relates back to an experience that I had when I was 15 years old, which was sort of, I imagine everyone's here had a spiritual experience, in some way or another, something that sort of altered their trajectory maybe, or their consciousness. So I had an experience of being Christ when I was 15, which is a pretty cosmic experience when you sort of feel like you're here to save the world and you're on a mission from God. And it's taken me on a pretty amazing journey, and I'm sort of really haven't shared much of my life, because it's, when you go through a dark night of a soul and you go through lots of pain and suffering, you don't really want to discuss such vulnerable experiences, so I've been through a lot of challenges, and I know right now that the more that light we shine and the more love we share, the more everyone else benefits. And so right now on our planet, there's a lot of children, especially teenagers, people that are waiting for people like ourselves to be light bearers. So the end of my talk, my intention is that each of you feel ignited by the light within, and that you take your life as an opportunity to share your gifts and to be of service. And one of my teachers was a shaman, and one thing he said was, remember, when you speak, you're first speaking to yourself. And that's a powerful paradigm. So, I'm speaking to myself as I speak to you. With that, what I ask for you guys to do, because the title of my book is Imagine Being God, the 5 Keys to Becoming an Avatar. And an avatar is someone, Jesus is probably, I think, the best example of an avatar. He was a living embodiment of the divine. He experienced that level of consciousness and mastery where he was that which we, I believe, have the ability to realize as well. Now, if you look at any athlete, to achieve that level requires extraordinary discipline, practice, environment, everything to really perform at the highest level. And so my intent is at the end of this time we're together for this moment, in time, that you guys feel inspired to elevate your personal performance, because we're all connected. And the more love you share with your family, which is so important, with your friends and with your community, the sooner that we're able to experience more harmony, more peace, and more abundance. Because we are in an infinite, this is an infinite possible, we have infinite energy and then infinite possibilities. So to get in touch, we all have these bodies, right? So for us to get in touch with our bodies, what I'd like for us all to do is to stand up, and just to, as you stand up, just to relax and to breathe. Now, we're gonna actually do a practice that I advocate that everyone does on a consistent basis. And part of being able to perform at the highest level is being able to master our body, mind, spirit. And so what this is, I call this the body bop. And what it's going to do, it's actually going to help activate your lymphatic system. So what I'm asking that you do when you do this is that the intent is just to relax and to breathe and to just experience where it's going to go. So this is what it looks like, the body bop. It's super simple. You just bop, Now, when you're bopping, you want to remember to breathe. So you want to relax the tension in your body. Breathe in. You want to be breathing in and out through the nose. Now, ideally, you want to do this at least 100 times a day to do like 100 body bops. And it can take like a couple minutes. You can do it anywhere, And this is an extraordinary lymphatic activation, which helps to cleanse and purify the blood, which helps you to connect deeper to yourself. And it's a very purifying, expansive. In fact, as you do this, if you take your awareness into your heart and just feel the love that you have for yourself, and then truly commit to be an ambassador for you so that you can nurture and love yourself in orders of magnitude that you have in the past. So I think that's good just to sort of feel that. And so this is something that I like to do every day. I mean, I don't all the time. It's like anything you want to, you guys are good party poppers. So yeah, that is one thing that is going to be very beneficial. There's a host of practices that you want to employ so that you can really experience more of who you are. So I had this experience of being a Christ being, right? I'm like, it blew my mind. I mean, I ran away from home. My parents had separated. I come out of this lake in the morning. I had the sun shining. And I went from being paranoid to all of a sudden on this mission. It didn't last very long, you know. And the journey, you know, that was back in 1976. So we're fast forwarding up to 2022. And now I'm realizing the importance of sharing my story and sharing my message so that we can, as a civilization, really manifest what is possible. And that's left up a lot to our imagination. You know, it's like some question people ask me all the time, you know, so where are you from?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Here, Vegas.
Vegas, okay. So, and where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. And so where are you from?
Vegas.
Vegas. And Mr. Calder, you're from?
San Diego, California.
Okay. So people ask me that. They go, where are you from? And I say, you know what? Honestly, I know. It's like, we're all from the same place, right? And I think you'll agree when I tell you where we're from, right? We all come from our mother. You know? We all come from our mother. And the more we realize the sacredness of that relationship to our mother and how important that relationship is and how to nurture and honor and protect and serve our mother, the more empowered we as individuals can do that to ourselves. Because that's our most sacred relationship, is our relationship with our mother. So when you recognize that you can only love someone else to the extent you can love yourself, then you start to realize, wow, well, how can I love myself more? Because if you want to love others more, then it's about, well, how do I love myself more, right? So one day I was in Del Mar. I'm at the Marriott, parking cars. Car, you know, roll up, I roll up, welcome to Marriott, and I was a valet. And this was 2009, and I'd studied under astrophysicists, a degree in economics. I could, you know, talk about all the stuff I knew. And I'm going, God, please, I know I'm here for much more than parking cars. You know, what can I do to really be of service? And so, and I was praying. I mean, you guys, imagine you've prayed hard before, right? Have you ever prayed really hard? It's like, God, you know, whether it's you're in a dire straits or you really want something. And so it was deep. And what came to me from the higher realms was always breathe completely. ABC. So one thing I'm going to share with you guys right now is some you know, you could call it technology, but it's basic fundamentals about how to care for our living sacred instruments. We are living universes. We are living universes. And we are so much more influential than we realize. So for us to experience what's possible, it's about having congruence. You know, you want to be one with what is, and you start to really establish that. And that's why, you know, for me, it's like being embodying integrity. You know, so you can develop trust with yourself. As that occurs, you can expand outward. So we're going to do this. This is just a little 60-second test. And you guys are going to find out right now where you guys lie on the rainbow breathing chart. Because breathing is, I'm not entirely certain, but I've heard we get about 80% of our energy from breathing. So it's pretty important. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this little test. It takes like 60 seconds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say start. And when I say start, I'm going to ask for you guys to each count how many breaths you breathe in a minute. And we'll find out what your breaths are. Oh, you made it just in time. Perfect. Yeah. What's your name? Isa in the house. Isa in the house. So Isa, we're doing a breathing test just to find out how many breaths you breathe in a minute. Okay. So when I say start, you're just going to count how many breaths, and a breath is one inhale and one exhale. Todd, are you with us? Okay. On your marks, get set, start. So it's just your normal breathing pattern. And this will give us some insight about how optimally you are currently breathing. And this is also part of a global campaign called the Awareness Breathing Campaign, ABC. Always breathe coherently. Da, 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 da. Okay, just a few seconds left. And stop. Okay, so anybody that was over 20 breaths per minute, please raise your hand. Oh, wow. Okay, no one over 20. Anyone that was over 15, raise your hand. Okay. Anyone that was over 10 breaths per minute, raise your hand. Oh, wow. So that's pretty impressive, because most people in the United States are breathing between 10 to 20 breaths per minute. Okay? So, entrez-vous. We got a guy on a scooter here.
I'm fine. I promise you whatever you I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. So, so let me, okay, who was at 9 breaths per minute? So you have 2 at 9. Okay, so you guys, I was looking to see the color. I think, let me just see. And then who was 8? Okay, we got an 8. Okay, and then who was 7? 7, okay. And then who was 6? Okay, anyone 5? Now, how many breaths were you? 7. And you were?
I had 9.
You had, oh, that's right, 9. Yeah. So that's wonderful, you guys, because generally people are not in that range. You want to be breathing. A coherent breath is what is called 5 breaths per minute. So I've got this chart here, and 9 to 11 is blue, 7 to 9 is indigo, and 5 to 7 is violet. And if you're breathing at 5 breaths per minute, that's optimized breathing. And what that does is it balances your nervous system, it creates optimal brainwaves profiles, and it's super beneficial. I mean, it's very healthy. The key to being able to breathe 5 breaths per minute is learning how to relax. Relaxation is the key that will open the door to yourself to unwind your nervous system and to reset your whole physiology. But you guys are pretty good. There's, one of the keys. What's your name? Michael. Michael. So my talk is here. Imagine being God, and you missed the first part. But there's I have 5 keys to becoming an avatar, and what an avatar, what I define it as. I don't know if is anyone here David Hawkins, his work?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got a thing called the scale of consciousness. Okay. Love is at 500, peace is at 600, enlightenment is at 700. I define an avatar, thanks to another lady who shared with me, is someone who first realizes they are source creator of their reality. Okay. Now, when I say that, you recognize you chose your parents, you created your body. There's no us, them. There's no blame, complaints. Like you take full ownership, responsibility for what's going on. No accidents. It's like, okay, I am, stepping into it's high level responsibility. It's a paradigm. It's a full paradigm. So enlightenment is, an avatar is resonating at 1,000. So how do we raise our frequency, right? How can we? The highest I've ever met so far on this planet, because I can test everyone here and tell you exactly where you are on the scale of consciousness. The highest I've met so far is 850, and she actually, her name is Avatar Nirvana. It's pretty. Yeah, it's amazing, and she is amazing. She's a really extraordinary lady. But it's like how do we elevate up? How do we elevate our frequency? How do we experience more inner peace, more joy? The fun. More of what we want in life. And then so it's on one level, it's really starting to master ourselves, right? To thine own self be true. I love that, and to know thyself. So okay, the Oracle, right? Oracle of Delphi. Know thyself. So how do we know ourselves? Well, really, it's going back to the beginning. Okay, it's like and taking ownership and responsibility. It's like, okay, if we're creators, then and when you realize, Michael, that a thought is a thing, it's just not maybe materialized. As you raise in frequency, your thoughts manifest more quickly. So that's why I have a saying called thought management. So thought management is when you're cognizant of what you think. Because typically, before you speak something, you think something. And so if you start to develop thought management, you become really disciplined about what you entertain or allow into your consciousness. Does that make sense, you guys? So that's why I advocate for only exposing yourself to virtuous thought forms, virtuous, environments, beautiful, in places. One of the new sciences of the golden age is biogeometry, and in that science, it's about how can we create beauty and harmony in space. And I think the most important space for us to create beauty and harmony in is what or where? Exactly, our bodies. We are living universes. We are all trillionaires. We have trillions of cells. We're all trillionaires. If you guys start to understand the physics, the biochemistry of what's going on, the electromagnetic phenomena that we are, it will blow your mind. It literally is mind expanding. And until we really master the fundamentals and we create a foundation, we're not able to ground that caliber of energy, right? So as an instrument, it's important that we harmonize, we balance, and so that our instrument can be beautiful. It can be peaceful. It can be joyous. In fact, let me see what time we got here. I got a song I wrote. It's called Eternal Love Divine. And it's been a while. I wrote it a while back. I'll just see a little part of it. So it's in the rhythm in the ocean. It's in the beauty in the sky. It's in the lights that shine all night long. It's called the eternal love divine. Eternal love divine, my friend. And it's the source of miracles. It's in every one of us, so ask for it to grow. It's a man who does what he says. It's a woman who invites you in. It's a brother who lifts your spirit up. It's a sister who continues to give. So, really, as we wake up to our nature, and there's people that are here on the dark side, they're doing their dance. And the best thing in that, to deal with is, like Jesus said, judge not lest ye be judged. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Have the compassion, develop empathy, open up yourself to be a servant, right? The more we are allowing ourselves to be, instruments, the more we can receive, the more it's like you get into that flow. And then you realize, oh my God, there are a lot of people that are waiting for us to help them, right? So the sooner we get into ownership of what we think, then we can start to use what was in the beginning. There was what? Yeah. And so you look at light, and then you look at sound. I mean, the word, right? You look at the word. So imagine that you start using your word to create what you desire. Like Michael, you desire, I imagine, to be pain-free, to have your body working optimally, where you can, play like you kid as a kid, right? Sure. So now, with that, is that possible? Abso-freaking-lutely. How fast can it happen? It can happen light speed quick. Do you believe it? No, of course you don't believe it, because you've been in that predicament for a long time. Is it possible for you to literally transform your reality? Absolutely. Be open to receive, take ownership, and recognize that Christ in me is in you as well. For you to recognize and receive your magnificence, you have a big mission. Now, are you ready to step into that? You are, absolutely. That's why you're hearing my words. And you know that you've got much to give. You got a big heart. And you care a lot. Ask your baby. She knows.
Well, he doesn't answer.
Yeah. So, the more that we start to think, so like, for example, Michael, start to imagine yourself at your ideal weight, ideal functional performance, and then start to use words that support that reality. Don't entertain whatever. I've been labeled, all kinds. A couple labels. One was bipolar, schizophrenic when I was 15. So the medical model, they're happy to give you a label and give you, drugs and surgery as a solution. So as creators, we want to be empowered to take ownership and responsibility over our thinking, because our thinking influences our speaking, and our speaking influences our actions, and our actions influence our reality. So, as I'm actually 61 right now, and this is just an expression of my ability to go. This is an inversion. It's just upside down. So if you go upside down, you get more blood flow. You get more oxygen, and we're designed to move, right? So if we're sedentary, then we're not going to be having oxygen flow. So there's practices that I really advocate for you guys to do every day, and as a way to demonstrate how much you love yourself. Were you here for the breathing test? I think you missed it. So we just did a test to see how many breaths you breathe per minute. So that's the one thing for you guys to do is you can declare is that, I breathe like an avatar. And an avatar breathes 5 breaths per minute. So you can declare that, reprogram your subconscious by your words, and before you know it, you'll find yourself meditating. You'll find yourself making sure you're relaxed. There's pathways to navigate into that state. So that's probably one of the most important things is thought management. Corollary to that is to use your words to their declarations, right? So anytime you use I am, you always want to use it in a constructive, positive form, because that's a very powerful declaration. So, and just be mindful of what you say. Silence is golden. I love that. It's a beautiful, profound idea. Most of our communication is with actually, our body, the way we carry our body is a real big communicator. So that's another thing, to experience, your godly nature, you want to be godly. You want, you say, I love your presentation. It's purple, it's a royal color. You have adornment, you're well taken care of. So those are signs of you really care for yourself. It's a beautiful, yeah. You want to be the higher resonant colors, just opulence. Opulence is a really wonderful word. So it starts with your imagination. So you can imagine, wherever you are, start to imagine yourself as a royal being, because you are all children of God. You're made in the image and likeness of God. So that's what you are. So now to embody that, holy moly, Batman, it's a journey. And it starts today, and it starts now. And it starts by you starting to take responsibility for what you think, what you say, where you go. Clean your room. I'm going to give you a few things. I've got things I do. It's sort of like a lot. But one thing that I really advocate as it relates to self-care, one is to sleep. Sleep is very important, and we do a lot of work with the higher realms when we sleep. So you can program your dreams. You can, there's lots of different things you can do during sleep time. But sleep is super critical for regeneration, for healing, and I recommend at least 8 to 9 hours. If you want to be a queen, you might want to go for 10. And people are like, what do you mean, man? What are you sleeping your life away? Hey, you know what? I met this girl one time, and she was beautiful, and God, she looked super young, vibrant. And she goes, yeah, I think it's probably because I love to sleep. I sleep like 9 or 10 hours a day. That's why I look so young. And most people are not really nurturing themselves in that way. So that's one thing I advocate. The other is super nutrition. The soils are depleted. We're not getting enough nutrients in our foods. We don't have enough minerals, enough amino acids, enough of the right stuff of building blocks to really take care of ourselves. So learn in that space. It's really important. Joy is obviously. I love. My friend came up with this word called joy generator. Joy generation. So, be kid-like. ABC is also always be childlike. ABC. You guys always breathe coherently. Always be childlike. Be curious too, right? That's the kids who are curious. They're like about having fun. Let's have some fun. So, I think I just have a few more minutes here. Hydration, get pure water. One guy I worked with, he said that you want to get your hydration through eating your food. So, let's say you eat a banana, you eat some watermelon, papaya fruits. I love fruits. I think they're fantastic. They have lots of nutrition and they're hydrating. Vegetables are great. Nuts, just eat very vibrant, high frequency foods. I love spirulina, and then there's a plethora of stuff. In fact, there's a product. Oh yeah, this is a product I've recently been taking. It's called iHercules. It's has 44 superfoods, and they're distilled. They take the most important molecules of it. So it's just a spray, but you want to get your body supported nutritionally, And then another is detoxification. We've all been exposed to tons of toxins, so be responsible. Detox. There's you could just Google search it, and there's lots of different things that you can do for detoxifying. But that's going to help, cleanse the body, so you can connect to who you are, right? I mean, does anybody here realize who they are? Anybody? Anyone want to give
In what sense?
What's that?
In what sense?
Just like if I ask you, who are you?
Michael.
Yeah, exactly. That's a common response. See, he has no clue who he is. He has no clue. So, Michael is a name.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but that's a name.
That's why I asked in what sense.
Yeah, I mean, in the context of the question. I mean, if you say like, where am I, right? That's a geographical question. So who? You want to. I'm a little bit of a scientist because I've studied a lot in that space. Well, yes, please.
I love what you're sharing. Basic tenets to wellness. So many people, they would say, I'm sorry, I didn't, there was nothing to be sorry about. And then I'd say, I'm love. What did you say you are? Sorry, I'm love.
Yeah.
So we are love.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. So love is a frequency. Then you've got peace, which is a higher frequency, and enlightenment is even a higher frequency. So we are really what we are is we are living universes. It's bioplasmic, biochemical. There's chemistry, there's physiology, there's we have souls. We are so intricate. We have these systems, right? We have all of these systems. So we're literally, that's why I talked about, imagine being God. We are God incarnate. We are living, breathing incarnations of sacred expression. Oh my God, you ladies made it just in time. Come on in. The party's just...
Are you ready for Michael or not yet?
Michael,
Bennett.
give me about maybe 4 minutes.
How many?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a tremendous opportunity to have incarnated on our planet, right? And so, I am right now calling all bearers of light to open their hearts, to bring forth their swords of truth, to embrace their sacred gifts, to share abundantly, to live generously, to expand, and to participate in co-creating and birthing the new world which we're a part of. And we need all hands on deck. There's a tremendous portal of opportunity right now, and you guys, it's been an honor and a privilege to have the chance to share some information with you guys today. May this, you know what? This is another thing, you guys. This is, so it's like, what can you do to raise frequency, right? That's what it's like. How do you freaking raise your frequency? So this is a great thing to raise your frequency, and we're going to do it right now before we go. And we're going to come up, we're all going to leave a little bit higher. So what it is, it's like singing, but we're going to be doing some toning together. What we're going to do is I didn't give you guys, I had this exquisite meditation, man. I swear I wanted to give that. But in the spirit of time, what we'll do is we'll just tone together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some oming, okay? So when you om, it's just going to go, you're going to go full throttle. And this om, what we're going to do we're going to create a portal of energetic connection. We're going to connect up, and we're going to do some power work right here, right now. So what, I'm going to start, and you guys join in, and we're going to do this for a couple minutes to really elevate the frequency. You guys ready? Guys ready to own? Okay, here we go. Breathe in. Let's do it one more time here, guys. Well, that's something else I advocate. One thing that's helpful, posture. Posture is very important. So you want to have your ears over your shoulders. You want to be erect. You want to have your core engaged. You got the mula bandhas, the bandhas from yoga, right? So you want to have those engaged so you can really carry the light. So you can be a container, right, to carry more light. Posture is really important. And then singing and dancing, and God, you know, who does? I mean, singing and dancing, it's like, come on, you guys, let's have some more fun, right? So, yeah, that's the completion of my talk today. I'm super stoked that you guys are here. This is my first talk I've given, so it was
Wonderful.
super easy.